welcome to the Borealis Experience. I'm your host Aurora, and I'm very happy to be spending some time with you today. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're in a good place. And if not, I hope I can lift you up, make you feel good about yourself, and help you to move on to whatever problems you are faced with at the moment. Today I want to talk about your mother. I remember when I was in grade 9 or 10, there were mother jokes out there, and I always thought they were very funny and can't stop giggling thinking of some of those jokes. But this episode today is not going to be about mother jokes. It is about your relationship with your mother. I received a message from a dear listener, a dear friend the other day, and he was explaining to me that his mom is sick and he has to take care of her. He lives with her, and that he keeps getting very, very angry. He then apologizes, and then his mom forgives him. But yeah, this situation is very tough and emotionally draining. And additionally to that, he tells me that no woman wants to stay with him in a relationship. He keeps meeting people, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be working out. They leave him, and he is, very sad about this, very desperate to meet someone and maybe get married even one day. So I decided to make an episode for him, and please know whenever there's something that bugs you, that is weighing heavily on your heart, shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and I will try and produce an episode for you. And I know in doing so, we can also help other people who might be struggling with similar problems. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this podcast. And if you feel very generous today, give me a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. It would mean so much to me. All right, let's dive in. Your mother, and don't get me wrong, if your mother has passed or if you were adopted, your primary caregiver is the first source of love that you experience. Your mom gives birth to you or adopts you or is there for you. And this is basically your blueprint for love. She gives you food, she nurtures you with love, she teaches you things, and she is there for you in emotional distress. This is the ideal mother. I'm very aware of this. I'm very aware that there's some people out there who grow up with a primary caregiver, with a mother that is not able to provide all these things because maybe she hasn't received it herself when she was little. But let's assume that you were given pretty much everything you need from her when you were little and when you were growing up. If it happens that your mom is maybe left by her husband, by her father, by your father, and you live alone with her, it is tough on you as a child on many, many levels. Because first of all, kids usually feel, they feel in charge of taking care of the emotional well-being of the mother or of the father when the mother left the house. They are starting to be caught in a role that a child is not meant to play. They try to replace the partner. They are there for the mother in this case on an emotional level. And sometimes the mother doesn't see that it is not the child's responsibility to be their caregiver. The mother needs to seek out counseling, physiotherapists if she is physically enabled, or friends and relatives. But her child should be protected from the misery of the mom. For some people, it might sound very cruel because you think, well, but it's my mom and I want her to be happy and I'm so grateful for everything that she has done for me. But you have to understand that there are boundaries that need to be set in order for both people, not only the child, but also the mother, to live a healthy life. Your mom cannot depend on you, because if she does, she will take the place, the emotional energy from you that is needed to create a healthy relationship with another, in this case, another woman. So it is just crystal clear to me that whenever my friend is meeting a girl and they get along well, but she realizes that all his emotional energy, all his mental energy, all his physical energy maybe is going into his mother, that she doesn't have a place in his life. And that makes people vanish, that makes people run away sometimes even. And it doesn't make them bad people, it just makes them people who are very aware of what they want and need in life. And they don't want to put up with competition, for instance. Very strong competition. You have to see on a physical level, if you live with your mama and care for her all day long, and emotional level, energetical level, you are not making space for a new partner. So all this to say is that I want to bring the power back to you. You have the power in your hands to make wise decisions in the future. It is not bad women that you keep meeting. It is women that are aware of this phenomenon and they want nothing to do with it. They want to meet you as an individual and not as the son of your mother. I recommend you look up codependency as well. I will put it in the show notes and have a little bit of a read there, because it is very important to know which boundaries you can set. And if blamed, if guilt tripped, if being called selfish, then you are being given tools on how to stand up for yourself. Because that's the trickiest part about codependency, is that when you seek independency, the person that is dependent on you and you on them will not like the change. They will feel you abandon them, you reject them, you're being selfish. And I know this all too well because I've gone through this many, many times in my life. And it is a very tough situation to be in. But setting boundaries in this case is really the only way out in order for you to have healthy relationships with other people. Yes, your mom gave you birth. Yes, your mom was there for you in the first years of your life. But you are supposed to be on this planet to pursue your life and your happiness without rejecting her or cutting her out of your life, but without being totally emotionally and mentally dependent on her. It is a really tough situation to be in, I understand this, but it is a situation that will make you feel so good about yourself once you reach balance, once you are standing on your own 2 feet and make the decisions for yourself that are good for you. And you will see your relationships will change. Your sense of self will change. It is no longer dependent on how your mother feels. Is she having a bad day? Oh, then you have to be a servant and you have to be accommodating and appeasing and maybe even the clown. No. The way your mom feels is her responsibility, and she has to seek help from other people. You can help her to find other people, and you can set boundaries in a very gentle way, right? You don't have to go see her now and throw everything at her head that I just told you. You can do it in a very gentle and graceful way and slowly remove yourself over time out of that situation. Another very important point, because now I just talked about your happiness and independency, is that your mom, as soon as you remove yourself a little bit, your mom will have to reach out to other people and be responsible of her health. And usually people get healthier. They don't totally heal, some do, but they get healthier because all of a sudden they are fully responsible for themselves. They reach out to other people who are not going to fall into the codependency game, and they're going to make space for novelty themselves. Because if you keep watering your neighbor's garden, they will soon lean back, drink their cup of coffee, and go about something else in their life. And you will end up having to water 2 gardens. As soon as you remove your garden hose out of your neighbor's garden, your neighbor has to start watering his garden again. And your relationship can be healthy again. You don't feel resentful towards him because you're doing him a favor and he's not really appreciated. And this is where I'm strongly certain my friend's deep anger and resentment comes from, because he can feel that there is an imbalance. He can feel that he cannot take enough care of himself and his life and his future. And this is why there will be nasty fights, ongoing fights, and then reconciliation and forgiveness. It's going to be like a cycle, a vicious cycle, until he decides to take really good care of himself. I hope this all made sense. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Let's have a talk. If you have any requests for new episodes, shoot me a message. And don't forget to give me a rating on Apple Podcast. If you need a one-on-one meditation or a little bit of a Aurora boost, you can sign up on my Patreon and we can have regular meetings, maybe once a month, where I check in with you and give you tools on how to undig yourself from the situation you don't want to be in anymore. I'm sending my love out to you. I will be out there very soon again. Bye-bye.